Up the card to our 7th bout on UFC 300, we have Calvin Kattar versus Aljamain Sterling, where Aljamain Sterling is going to be moving up to 145 after losing his belt to Sean O'Malley at 135. Calvin Kattar is going to be coming off of a pretty rough injury. I think it was like an ACL injury where he just completely destroyed his knee against Arnold Allen about a year and a half ago. He's going to be 36 as well. Aljo's not young either. He's 34. So, again, this is just going to be a very interesting fight. We know Aljo's very weird and unorthodox on the feet, just a very weird style, just running around and just kind of just throwing weird shots, and it makes it kind of rough for the guys, especially at 135. And then you mix it in with the takedowns, and then he's on his knees in front of you. You can't knee a grounded opponent, and he just makes it very tricky for the guys that he's fighting. And Calvin Kattar coming off in a really rough ACL injury, very crisp boxing. You know those guys at New England Cartel, very good stand-up for the most part. I mean, outside, it doesn't like Nick Fiore train there. I mean, I'm not going to get into that, but you have your Rob Font, you have your Calvin Kattar that trains at the New England Cartel. Very good stand-up fighter, very crisp boxing. Again, 36 years of age, though, which is kind of my worry here. I know Aljo's, 34? But we know how big Aljamain Sterling is. It's more of, will Aljamain Sterling be able to take down Calvin Kattar and beat him up there? And it's more of also what Calvin Kattar looks like, especially after a year and a half. Will he look rusty or anything like that? We know Aljamain Sterling is a pretty big, or at least was a pretty big bantamweight. So I think he'll adjust to 145 quite nicely. I mean, it's been 7 months since that Sean O'Malley fight, and I think about like a few months ago, he's really said like, okay, I'm done trying to get that Sean O'Malley fight at 135. I'll move up to 145. So he has some time to adjust now. He's getting settled in that 145-pound division. I'm going to go with Aljamain Sterling here because I don't know if Calvin Kattar at this point, at 36 years of age, with a rough injury, he's coming off of a year and a half out of the octagon, I don't know if he's going to look that crisp against Aljamain Sterling, and I don't think he has that Sean O'Malley speed and timing and footwork that really got Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling wasn't able to take down Sean O'Malley, and we do see that Calvin Kattar does have really good takedown defense. I had the record up here, the record book for the UFC. Maybe I can find it real quick. Takedown defense. I switched it to featherweight, but Calvin Kattar, 91.3% takedown defense percentage. He has really good takedown defense. But I think Aljamain Sterling, being a pretty heavy guy, maybe he won't take down Calvin Kattar, but maybe he'll make this a very dirty fight, put him up in the clinch. Again, just being really weird on the feet, making it very rough for a guy like Kattar, who is more of a boxing guy. He's not going to make it like a kickboxing fight. He's not going to throw a bunch of teeps like O'Malley. He's not going to throw spinning back kicks like O'Malley or to the body or anything like that. So he's not going to cover distance with a stand-up. It's more of a boxing style. Aljamain Sterling's going to be able to choose his shots, going to make it very tricky. I don't think Calvin Kattar is going to knee him to the head when he's on the ground, but it's just going to be very frustrating for Calvin Kattar when he's circling around. You got Aljamain Sterling like throwing head kicks, just making it very awkward. I'm going to go Sterling here. Maybe it's like a 29-28 decision where Kattar just catches him a couple times. I don't think Sterling's going to be able to... Maybe he will backpack Calvin Kattar in this fight, but I don't know if he's going to be able to just dominate Kattar on the ground here. I think Kattar's takedown defense, I think he knows who he's fighting here. He's going to be working on his takedown defense. Again, the injury, year and a half off with the ACL, 36 years of age, does kind of worry me here. You will have a 1-inch reach advantage. But I just think the styles going into this fight, I think Aljamain Sterling benefits a little bit more here. Just covering a little bit more distance, circling out, and then just getting that shot in. Maybe Calvin Kattar just surprises everybody. Maybe he just flatlines Aljo or beats up Aljo pretty badly here. But I think Sterling can make this pretty messy, make it pretty awkward as well, and just win this fight by decision, 29-28 decision. Maybe he submits Calvin Kattar. Again, the thing with Aljamain Sterling, and I'm not going to get into like an O'Malley prediction here. I think Merab is a little bit... The only thing O'Malley has to worry about with Merab is kind of the cardio, just getting out cardioed. The thing with Sterling is that he has the grappling to go with his wrestling, and that's the pretty worrying part. So maybe he can backpack Kattar at some point or like hop on his back at some point in this fight, even standing. Maybe that's the key here. But I can see a 30-27 decision. I can see a 29-28 decision where Sterling's just going to circle around, cover more distance, throw like head kicks, just being super awkward, making it very rough for a Calvin Kattar who's been out of the octagon for a year and a half. And I can just see him maybe potentially backpacking him in like the second or third round, standing backpack. Maybe not. Maybe he gets him to the ground at some point. Maybe he gets him to the ground, Kattar tries to get up, and he just hops on there. Who knows? But I just think Sterling's just going to run a little bit of, not circles in a bad way, like, oh, he's just going to outstrike him, make him look like a fool. But he's literally just going to run circles around them, make it super weird fight, and make it pretty tricky for Calvin Kattar coming back here. So I'm going to go Aljamain Sterling here by decision. Again, just super awkward style. Let me know who you guys think wins down below in the comments. Tapology has, 75% Sterling here, 26% by submission. It's just very tricky because Calvin Kattar, again, has very good takedown defense. We'll see what it looks like here. Maybe he can't take one. Again, it is an ACL injury, so you never know what guys will look like coming back into a fight. Very rough knee injury, so I'm going Sterling by decision. Let me know who you guys have down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.